Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is SOFEA from Group 10 and today we will be presenting our research, which is students' reaction to changes in learning experience during COVID-19, and this is the few content that we will go through in this video. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, students in Malaysia are experiencing various changes in their education or learning activities. Education is one of the crucial components in the growing and developing phase as a human being. And as a students ourselves, we would like to see how deep has this COVID-19 has left any impacts on the students in Malaysia. Hence, our topic is an interesting study for us as the students have been forced to adapt with the changes in the education sector for about 2 years already. These changes include the transition from physical classroom to online classroom, virtual learning experience, shrinking social interaction, and decreasing self-confidence. For our research, we have distributed a survey form, and the responses of our survey comes from different backgrounds and universities in Malaysia.
There are 3 objectives of study for our research. The first one is to discuss students' reaction to the student transition of traditional classroom to online classroom. The second one is to understand university students' perception toward changes in learning experience from traditional classroom to online classroom. And the third one is to study how the students have been coping with the online assessment during the pandemic.
There are 3 research questions. How do the students react to the sudden transitions from traditional classrooms to online classrooms? Second is, what are university students' perceptions of changes in learning experience from the traditional classroom to online classroom? And the last one is, how are students coping with online assessments during the pandemic?
Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is INSYIRAH and I'm going to discuss regarding the first finding, which is students' preferable type of class. Based on the survey, the result shows that students were 71.2%, which equals to 79 students agree that they prefer it to be physical class. Meanwhile, 32 students said that the online learning is the most preferable type of learning for them. Even though students' traditional educational learning is largely gone, online learning makes it more difficult for them to study as the burden are entirely their responsibilities.
This section of questions aims to study how students feel about transitioning from physical class to online class. We started off this section by giving a few scenarios of online learning in a grid table format and asking them to rate from strongly disagree to strongly agree. From the figure, a majority of 41 respondents out of 111 chose strongly agree on the first scenario, which states, I find it easier to focus during physical classes because online classes cause distractions, whereas only 4 students chose strongly disagree. According to a study conducted by researchers, 25% stated that they were more likely to listen to music, send text messages, or surf the internet in online courses than in a classroom, thus making it difficult for them to concentrate.
The next one is on how students feel about the overall online learning. Our research shows that about 50 students answered neutral on option 3, meanwhile 17 students and 40 students answered on option 2 and 4, which are disagree and agree respectively. This clearly shows that most students are having mixed feelings with online learning, as some of them may be dealing with a lot of problems during the whole online class journey.
The fourth question of this survey aims to find out whether students are feeling stressed out during online classes. Most respondents, with a percentage of 39.6%, have chosen the option strongly agree in response to the statement made. During the pandemic, students have been complaining about the excessive amount of workload they are receiving. It cannot be denied that heaps of workload may lead to stress and will possibly affect one's mental health in a very negative way. As we are all aware, a poor mental health may result in a poorer academic performance. The next question is to find out whether students are enjoying online classes more than they are enjoying physical classes. The most voted option here is neutral, which had been chosen by a number of 42 students. There are indeed pros and cons when it comes to online learning, which may lead to the respondent's decision. Pros of online classes include flexibility, whereas cons of it may include major and minor technical issues.
43.2% or 48 respondents have chosen option 4 and 24.3% have chosen option 5, resulting in a majority of the respondents have agreed that COVID-19 has affected their ability to learn or study. However, every individual has a different way of adapting with changes, hence there are also respondents that have chosen option 1 for this question. This question is to understand more students' perspective towards changes in learning experience from traditional classroom to online classroom. The majority of the students have chosen option 3, which has shown that most of the students are feeling neutral towards the effectiveness of remote learning. This is understandable as remote learning leaves different impacts towards each individual.
Changes from traditional classroom to online classroom have been affecting students' mental health. 66.6% the linear range 4 to 5 said that their mental health was affected compared to 10.8% on the linear scale 1 to 2. It shows the transition to online classroom impairs their mental health, particularly during this pandemic period. According to a research, the increasing screen of time, online education, and the absence of face-to-face communications connection has negatively impacted many of students' mental and physical health. Importance of face-to-face communication for students while learning. 78.3% of responded between the 4th and 5th linear scales, which indicate the majority of respondents feels that the necessity of face-to-face communication for students during learning is critical for knowledge acquisition at the university. Since good communication is one of the major components of learning, incorporating lectures and learner performance face-to-face discourse resulted in more successful communication.
As for the next question, the objective is to tackle the respondents' judgment on conducting online assessments. As seen on the figure, most of the respondents' take on this question is that they are neutral with the statement given. 33.3% of the respondents are neutral on this statement, whereas only 4.5% strongly disagree and another 21.6% strongly agree on this statement. The benefits of online exams are numerous, particularly in light of the continuous epidemic affecting the worldwide education environment. However, there are pros and cons of implementing online tests. Institutions need to consider all factors to make sure all students will be able to take the exam and what measures might be made to guarantee that they can do it.
The top challenges for students while doing online assessment is easily distracted. Total of 93 students, or 83.8%, have chosen easily distracted as there are main challenges faced while doing online assessment. It is proven that online learning has reduced students' ability to stay focused in class, as many factors can be the reason for the student to get easily distracted.
The second most good answer to challenges often faced by students when doing online assessment is the lack of motivation. The option was chosen by a number of 74 students. Based on the research made, this may be caused by poor engagement or poor feedbacks by educators.
The last question, which is the challenges students face while doing online assessment. Technical issues has gone up to the top 3 highest challenges faced by the students with a total of 66.7%. It is proven that technical issues have been a barrier to most of the students in completing their online assessment. By having a stable connection and suitable devices, it will ease their burden in doing all of the tasks given.
To summarize our findings from our research, we discovered that the majority of Malaysian students see the experience of rapid shift from physical learning to remote online learning as challenging, but also useful for some other groups. Video tutorials as well as other interactive e-learning tools might improve student learning experiences, but it also comes with negative impact on the physical and mental health if it is not used indefinitely. The findings acquired from studies and research done reveal that the hypothesis is accepted as students are experiencing difficulty adapting to the changes associated with the new learning experience due to the COVID-19. Although the research was effective in serving as a medium for understanding of how students react to the current scenario in online learning, it is still required to uncover other suggestions and challenges experienced by the university students in Malaysia and outside Malaysia concerning to this topic.